Alright, so I wanted to make this guide more so specifically for lower ranked people because they don't know how to deal with Nasus, right? Uh, Here's the thing, in higher ranks probably everybody knows it, so if you are really higher ranked, most likely you already know the matchup, so this video might not be for you, right? But like, everybody just hates Nasus in lower ranks. He slows you, he stat checks you, he outscales you, he's really strong on the side lane, you can do shit against that. He can be still good in some type of teamfight scenarios, right? And this is a video where I want to point out the weaknesses of Nasus. Now I want to say I faced a 6 million points, not 6 million, I mean 600k points Nasus. He was Grandmaster 2 years ago, same as I was. Right now his account is on a Platinum. I think he just restarted playing League, I'm not sure, but Nasus didn't change too much. 2 years ago it's legit the same champion, except with some small item changes, rune changes, whatever, but in general he's almost the same thing in general, right? Um, Now here's the thing. I played this matchup in here. As I said, like right now he's Platinum, but it's likely it's a Smurf account or he played on EU West instead of EU Nest, so I don't believe he is only Platinum, right? But even if it's Platinum, it's still a valuable content for lower ranked people, right? Okay, so we get into the game, right? I play Aatrox into Nasus. Now there are many champions that can counter early on Nasus to the point where you don't ever get outscaled if you play correctly. But if you play too passively, you don't punish him, you don't know how to manage your wave, you don't know when to dive him, you don't know when to ask your mid laner or the jungler to dive him, then you are in trouble, of course, but I will teach you some important things. So Aatrox, wouldn't say it's the hardest boss. It's really good at countering Nasus, but you can also go Darius, you can also go Jax, you can go for so many things to counter a Nasus, you know, like his early game at least. Now I know he gonna outscale many things, right, if you allow it, but it's only if you allow it, right? So in here we started out the game. The enemy Nocturne left a ward in here, so I typed the information in the chat that he left a ward in this bush. Then I wanted to sneak a ward in here, and in here not much happens basically, but I couldn't really like sneak a ward later on when his camp spawns, his raptors, because Talia wanted a leash, so I was like whatever. Okay, we get back to the lane. We just give her a decent leash in here. Okay. I kinda like mispositioned a tiny bit with my second Q, so if you can position better, do so. Okay, so I just walk back to the lane, right? Now in here I did a mistake actually, right? In here I should ban auto-attack these minions. So he can't get all in one these minions, because they won't die they won't be as low, you know? So what I should ban do, I mean if I have to leash then it's kinda hard to manipulate the wave, but what you can do if Nasus leashes, you can pull the wave so it will push towards you. Or you can also auto-attack this minion, which means the minion aggro gonna trigger on you. And basically then you're gonna walk away, then they're gonna focus one minion and one minion will die before he arrives to the lane. That's the most consistent thing to do. In here I'm just zoning a tiny bit, but yeah, just because I didn't auto-attack these minions, they are low HP each of them and he picks them up with his E, so it was a bit of my mistake in here, or I could also zone him, but it's a bit hard to zone him away. Because I also wanted to pick up the minions, but if you don't have to leash, you can really easily go for a level 1 zoning. In here I was too patient on my second Q, probably I should then instantly use it. Okay. So in here we just last hit, not much happens, Nasus plays as passively as possible, I try to pressure him, he backs off. Even in here he picks up only one minion, I missed my W and I missed my Q as well, right? So shit like this will happen of course, right, that you can't really get on top of Nasus because he sidesteps. That's totally fine, you don't have to go for desperation play just because he gets one CS in extra, just because he gets one stack. It's not the end of the board, so don't go in some type of desperation plays thinking that Nasus is gonna outscale you just because he gets one extra CS because you misplayed, right? So it's not really a big deal if you misplayed, of course. Okay, so in here I start to Q, second Q goes in, auto attacks, misses W again sadly, but we still chip down a bit his HP, right? That's important. Also we didn't lose any amount of CS. I E forward for an auto attack, he E's, right? Okay. So you gotta be a bit more patient on your W. Nasus has a lot of base movement speed, so it's kinda easy for the champion itself to sidestep your abilities. In here I leave a ward because I know I'm weak-sided. The enemy bot lane leashed, Nasus was in lane, so it means he didn't leash. So generally means Nocturne is around me right now, right? And you constantly have to look at the map, at the ward you have, and at the wave, and at Nasus if you can punish, right? But in here you gotta be careful because Nocturne is here. I'm gonna even reveal the map. Nocturne is actually here, so everybody can see it, right? Now I back up a tiny bit because I'm in danger. If Nasus W's me, I'm fucked. I had to walk away out of his W range now. Of course he plays 2 points in his Q because he can't really W me and kill me because I was already walking away. So I spot that he oracles my ward. He's around here, he should be here because I'm the only one that's gankable. If you look at mid lane recalled, so he's not even considering mid lane. His other option is Scuttle Scrap, but he's seen I'm deep enough in lane. But when I spotted him on the ward, I walked away and he got no value. He got no value out of this, right? Now I can't really do much. I have to shove this in. And in here I was going for a play, so watch out what I do. He has minion cover. I can't really W him straight up, right? But I can Q forward, kill the minion, poke Nasus, and then W him. Look. The minion actually died from my minions, but you guys get the point, right? Then W follows up. Q. And he died. Maybe the flash wasn't necessary. And in here, I have my escape pattern. I don't even care if Nocturne comes back after the Scuttle Scrap. Look what I do in here. I just walk down. I don't walk into him. There's no reason to walk this way because he has red, right? He's gonna stick to me with his passive. I walk to the closest wall. This is the closest wall, right? And I just see through it. And I'm out. Just like that. Just like that. Now in here I take my recall. I don't take the wave. The wave will push towards me because Nocturne killed the minions, right? And I get my whip, of course. 3 minions are grouped in here, and also it's on his side, which means his minions gonna appear faster to push the wave, right? Also he's gonna slowly last hit things, which means gonna slowly push the wave. Yep. Gonna slowly push towards me because my minions are more far from this minion combat, right? So it's more like it's the wave gonna push towards me, right? Now I get my whip. I'm really strong basically, right? I'm just walking to lane. Now most likely I'm telling my teammates right now that basically the enemy Nocturne is bot side because his wolves and his gromp is up, and also this is warded in case he randomly comes back on top lane, which he shouldn't, but if he randomly comes back there is a ward. Now in here we are freezing, right? Basically in management we are just freezing. We are looking for some type of pokes on Nasus, of course, right? We just Q, whip, W, and connect our third Q, which he sadly couldn't really do it because he's just kind of fast with boots, so my W just doesn't pull. Nasus has just so much speed. Yep. Now in here I'm pressuring again. I don't allow him to CS. Look, he tries to CS, but he's desperate, and he's getting punished for being desperate. It flashes, and the wave doesn't even push us because look how I fought him. So of course I throw the Q in the wave, right? He tried to unbreak the freeze, right? By positioning between the minions, but he will also die. Like if he tries to unbreak it this way, he will die because I'm in here and I'm not in here. If I would be in here and I queued the wave, that would low-key push, but since I positioned this way, I'm too close to him for him to just run away, right? I start with an auto attack. I tried my best to not queue the whole wave, I just queued some of the minions, right? Then I'm patient on my second queue, right? I'm not cleaving the whole wave. I'm just trying to wait on it and just cleave a little bit less of the wave so I still have a freeze, right? So I only hit like 3 minions. And my third Q doesn't even touch the minion wave, it just EQs forward, right? And he flashes. He's forced to flash, right? Okay. He lasted that, not much to say, and in here we just hold the freeze. And we just hold the freeze and he's in trouble. So he's in trouble basically, right? Just last it, you know, I shouldn't flip there probably, because that little bit it messes with the wave state. I mean, that whip was really unnecessary, of course. Now, Nocturne can gank me. Nasus is vulnerable to a Talia gank without flash, to a Sylas gank, right? And I'm ungankable by Yone and by Nocturne because I have an E, of course, right? And I have 1k HP, 58 armor, so no way I just randomly die, right? And now he loses the cannon, of course. Just like, and now he's suffering, right? Basically he's just suffering. In here, we are just freezing, you know, we are not pushing the wave, we are not doing anything, we are just holding the wave on our side. And now we are 6, he's level 4, right? Look what I do, I step up, I zone him from XP, I don't let him get XP. I W, I connect my second Q, but it doesn't pulse. The champion is just too fast with boots, so my W just doesn't pulse, right? Okay. I Q, lean forward, second Q doesn't connect. I don't have boots, so that's why it is. It just doesn't connect. There is like a significant movement speed difference, right? Okay. He's Eing to CS, because that's the only way he realistically I Q him, but watch out how I Q. I don't Q through the wave, I Q only him, you know? So I don't push the wave, right? You gotta be careful how you Q. You don't wanna Q through the wave, right? And look at the CS difference, right? He is again, pushes. That's the only way he CS is if he is, right? And now he's again in trouble. He's in trouble. He W's me, but watch out what do I have in here. I have double tenacity, right? Which means that this W lasts way less than it should, right? And I'm looking to Q. I'm ulting. He ghosts, and it's whatever. Probably if I maybe EW'd instead of EQ, maybe I could then stick to him, but he would still run out on the side of my W probably, so with his ghost, so it's most likely nothing would happen. But I would deal a bit extra damage with my W to him, so. And now we hold the freeze. There's no reason to unbreak it, right? So if Talia... So we are slow pushing right now, at best we are slow pushing, but we can also freeze. Because Talia is coming topside, and Nasus is not 6 yet, he has no sums as well, right? And he's really immobile at the same time, so... We are chilling, holding a freeze, you know? Holding a freeze. We don't have to go for, like... The only way you are looking to push, if you are looking to reset, if you are looking to rotate for Herald, if you are looking to gank mid lane, but generally you don't push, you just freeze. You don't stop freeze if you are against Nasus or against weaker champions in general, right? Against weak early champs. So Talia is coming towards me. We know Nocturne is bot side, so Nocturne can't randomly counter gank us, right? So now what I do, I chip down his HP before we dive. Look. W, very good. Connects his Q, auto attacks, and now I push. The reason for that, I see him, I just walk away, in here nothing happens. So because I fought him, I don't have a freeze anymore because I couldn't pull up the wave, right? So it basically means that I don't have a freeze, but I don't have. It's not necessary because he doesn't place with TP, and if he stays, we're gonna collapse on him with Talia, right? If he doesn't stay, we're still gonna collapse on him, because in here I'm gonna push, right? You need to know when to push against Nasus, when your jungler is around and when you're looking to dive, right? So in here I should then push as fast as possible, or actually I can even slow push. I don't have to rush actually, because the enemy only is still around. She can pick up her camps, of course. We don't have to rush actually, right? It's not necessary to rush. Cause Talia is, I'm pinging her, but she doesn't care. So I've been pinging her a lot to dive, because Nasus is still not 6 yet. We can dive him really easily. I'm level 7, I have Ignite, Whip, I have lots of damage. We could really easily force him to reset or dive him. Most likely we dive him. We have ranged abilities, of course, so it's really safe to go for this dive, from my opinion, right? Also we have CC to lock him down, so... And I'm just slowly pushing, because I'm not hard pushing, because the Talia just doesn't care about ganking top, about diving course. It's not a big deal. I can just slowly push. It's not necessary for me to brute force a push right now. Here I just whip, pick up the minions. I ward because Nocturne is topside since his red camps are up, right? Drake is not up, bot is not really gankable, mid is not really... it's kinda gankable. So most likely he wants to gank me or mid, right? Basically. Yeah. And in here, what happens? It's just very simple. Blast it. We chip a little bit his HP down, of course. I even take a tower shot for that, or two. It's not a big deal because I'm gonna eventually heal it up. He can't all in me because he's 2 levels under, so he can't really do much. I just bully him, you know. I just bully him continuously under tower, right? Because I can even push. I don't have to like slow push. I can just Q poke him and dive him eventually. He can't even stack because of me. Look, I'm chipping his HP down, right? I'm healing of that. I'm Qing again. He ults. I ult as well. I ignite and we drop the fight. Since I had double tenacity, Nocturne couldn't stick to me since the Nasus W didn't last shit. And now I stick myself back into the bush, right? So Nasus didn't see it, right? This is what Nasus saw. Look what I did. This is what Nasus saw, right? So I push everything in there. I Q him. And since Nocturne had no ultimate, I went for this and I just walked out, right? And this is what Nasus saw, right? But he does not see that I'm walking all the way in the bush and I'm walking all the way this way. Now I think this shouldn't be visible for the Nasus, but I'm not sure if this is how it's programmed. But I don't think so he realized when he moved his camera. Yep. And now we went back into the bush, right? And this is what Nasus saw. Now he steps back. He steps back and in here I could perhaps QW. I just didn't react in time. I do. Yeah, maybe I could then react faster to that, or there was some type of slight misplay I assume in here. Could then maybe go for a Q on him and then like EQ with the second Q, then he would possibly die. But then again he's kinda holding his distance, which means it possibly wouldn't connect, right? So in here I didn't knock him up, I guess. Yeah, I think I went too far with my Q, I didn't knock up with the first Q. Okay. So in here I push in the wave, he has no TP. As I said before, we're just pushing this in since Nocturne is not really realistically a danger for us since Talia was here. But this is what you guys didn't see, Talia was here, so I wasn't scared to push. And I told him we can zone him away. Or we can possibly dive him, the Nasus, since he has no ult. His ultimate matters a lot. His ultimate matters a lot when it comes to a dive, because look, his ultimate gives him so many stats, it's unreal. 40 magic resist, armor, it's also, he gets like what? He gets 300 HP, he gets the Q spam of course, he gets the damage aura. And in here he flashes out. He would be dead if he doesn't flashes, right? So watch out on how I position as well. Okay. I go blue team, right? So I directly don't position like this. Like this, behind the tower. Behind the tower I don't position like this, right? Or like this, because it will give away that Talia is here, right? It will just give it away, right? So if I position like this, hitting the tower, it's less likely that Nasus will realize that Talia is here, because usually people position more aggressively when they want to get a cheese on the Nasus, right? But since I don't have to do that, because with Nasus I can QW, I mean with Aatrox I can QW and she can follow it up. So for me it's not necessarily to position like this to get on top of him, right? I can position like this, which won't give off that Talia is here. And in here he comes in, right? I Q, and yeah, in here he had to flash, right? So in here we just push the wave. I mean, not much happens. I just reset. And in here I try to save her, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. In here they just let me go, because my E would come up anyway, so I would just eat through it. So in here I'm just backing off. I'm taking Grom because I need the money to get to get my Gorzing card. But apparently Nocturne showed up with Neon. I flashed Neon's ultimate. Also when Nocturne connected his ult on me, I flashed exactly at the same time. So I dodged 2 bullets at the same time, as you can see, right? In here you can see like I had a really good outplay. I'm not sure how did they know it. Maybe they wanted to steal the camp. Nocturne wanted to steal the camp after Talia is dead, so that's why he's here. And in here we can see Nocturne already ulted me. I flashed it. I flashed his E, I flashed Yon's ultimate and letting both ults. And now people are free to do whatever they want to in lane, because Nocturne has no ultimate. So if he goes missing, he hasn't got his ultimate for 126 seconds, right? For a long time. And here I just reset. I didn't reset actually, because I was like I can walk back to lane, since most likely they are not here. Most likely they think I reset, so they won't hover around, so they're gonna do Herald most likely, right? Or I think Herald is the best choice for them, right? So I just go back to the lane. I don't want Nasus to get plates. I want to pick up the CS. I want to pick up the next wave, because I know for a reason he has no almost no mana. He can't all-in me, even if he has ult right now. He can't all-in me with his mana, right? Because I can heal a lot. So basically I just get some chip damage on him, I W him, and he gets healed in here because he greeted on the plate.
Blue team double kill.
So in here he just simply just gets caught, right? Okay. And in here I'm just greeting for plates. We already have the info, Nocturne is there. We don't know where Ion is actually dead, so we have like the most information of that we can greed on these plates, right? I even use my E, reset my auto attack, of course, push the wave, right? Yeah, I just push the wave, I get the plate as well. Yep. And then I have a good recall. Then I have like a really good recall in here. I resetted, I buy my items right now, brought Gold Drinker, some armor, some Farsight of course. Okay.
Red team has slain the dragon.
In here I'm just slowly pushing, I'm waiting for Talia, so I don't have to rush with the wave. I can push it in when Talia finishes with her camps, or when she comes closer, of course, right? She's doing blue, she has to walk all the way up, right? So I don't have to rush, right? I can just slowly push it in when Talia arrives, right? Since we know, like, he has no double sums, I told her Nasus has no flash right now, has no ghost. I have 2 level advantages, I have Gold Linker over him, so it's likely we can force a dive with my ult or with my ignite. Worst case scenario, we just disengage, right? If we can't hit our abilities, that's a possibility that we don't hit our abilities, then we just disengage, right? So there is no reason to be afraid, and I think we could dive him, even if he has ult, or at worst case scenario we disengage. But she wanted Rether to do Herald because it's a bit more consistent since we don't know where Nocturne is. So there is a ward where he counter ganks it and we're gonna get shit on. So in here, since Nocturne ulted, I was walking all the way downwards because he could ban ult on the Talia, right? So that's why I walked all the way down. But he apparently ulted the other guy, right? Now in here, not much happens. I just walk downwards. I try to kill this Yon. I queued. I hit my other Q, he flashes, so there is no kill out of it. But I try to force something, but it's just not like it. We pick up the Yon though, and I go back. I don't shy out right now. Yep. And we pick him up as well, of course. Now we flash ignites and we pick that up as well. And Nasus can't do anything. He doesn't place his TP, so no way he TPs a minion. No way he TPs a tower, because if he does not play Ghost, he can't run me down anymore, right? He needs a Ghost usually to run people down, right? To be useful in team fights. If you don't play Ghost on Nasus, your champion is way worse. That's the thing, it's way worse. And it disallows you to get multi-kills. If you don't have Ghost, it disallows you to get basically don't get multi-kills in team fights, that's what I want to say. Now, he couldn't do much because he wants to stack. So I roamed, and since most of the Nasus how they will play, they will just stack, they won't even push. Now this Nasus was smarter, of course. He uses E, he auto-attacks minions, he wants to push the minion wave under tower before I arrive. But the problem is the champion has no wave clear. Also he wants to generally stack, so he doesn't like... Usually most of the lower rank Nasus players, if you roam, they would just slowly push, they would just last it. They wouldn't like brute force a push with their E, with their auto-attacks, so that's a good thing, right? So if you are playing a roaming champion, you can get a roam done, and most likely your Nasus player won't even like push the wave in. In here he's trying to push it in, but at the same time he's stacking, and Nasus, as I said, is not the best pushing champ. Even if he would push it in the faster, he wouldn't be able most likely to take the tower. And here I just get the wave, of course, get the next wave, and dive him, because Nami and Talia are hovering around, right? Okay. In here we get ganked on by Tristana though, and we kinda get killed. This was kinda random for me that Tristana just appears, but in there we just got out macroed, right? In there we just got out macroed, simply said, right? So like most parts of the matchup we already talked about, you know, if Nasus ever outscales you, you should just push out the side waves and force a team fight against him. I think we covered like almost everything about Nasus. At this point he's behind his CS, he's behind in general. Now what will happen after, my team comp is really good at countering Nasus in general, so as I said, if he ever outscales you, then what you should do, push out the side lanes and just force a team fight, you know, if your champion is bad in 1v1s against him, right? But if your champion gets dived under tower because Nasus just simply so bad, right? Then maybe you don't wanna. In here I get caught, but I ult and Gordwinker, right? It's best if you ult and Gordwinker, because then you get more healing of your Gordwinker, of course, right? IQ. And here we just stick, and this is what happens with Nasus in teamfight, right? You just pick up every single bit of heal with my flash, right? So this is how hard he can fall off against team comps with a lots of like damage, with penetration, with armor penetration, of course. He also has like no magic resist at all, because he, more than often, if you are AD on top lane, he won't build magic resist, you know? For a long time Nasus players won't build magic resist. So if he has to face like AP champions like these three, then he's gonna get shredded in team fights because he hasn't got enough MR, right? So like you can look into his itemization. If he only builds against you, if he goes for Halbreaker, if he goes for his whatever items, then you can just force a team fight against him. And if your teammates have true damage, they have magic damage, and spend armor, then that will have a lot of it. In here the game is just over basically for Nasus, so yeah, from here I'm gonna stop the recording.